In this video, we're going to be doing a tier list of all weapons in our graders. Let's start off with the gray weapon first. We're going to be starting with the Ferro bolt action rifle. This weapon used to be solid. We can put it at A tier previously in Tech Test 2, but they have nerfed it recently in terms of damage. And the reload speed is really bad right now. So we're gonna put it in B tier list for now. It's still good when engaging with drones and all that. You can still use it to take them down effectively. Alright, next let's talk about the Kettle gun. It's the worst gun in the game right now. The reload speed of this thing is just horrible. It's really bad at taking out drones, and close quarters is gonna be really bad. So I have to put this in D tier right now. But if you're playing it slow, like stay away from PvP, and you have a backup weapon like the Anvil for the drones, I think you can bring this weapon along as a backup weapon. Alright, next let's talk about the Rattler. This is like the full auto rifle, and I like AK-74 or M4 in Arc Raiders. I would put it in S tier right now. At level 1, it has 10 rounds, and you have to reload manually one by one, but later on when you upgrade this, you will have like a bigger capacity. Like level 2, you have 18 rounds, and you'll get bigger mag size when you have higher levels, and you can extend the mag size as well. So it's a great all-rounder weapon in close quarters, long-range encounters, and it's pretty decent at taking out the drones as well if you shoot at the thrusters. So I'm going to put this in the S tier list. Alright, next we have the Stitcher. This is an SMG, which I would say it's a decent all-rounder weapon as well. We're gonna have to put it in the A tier right now. It won't really do well at long range, but in short range to somewhat medium, I would say this gun is really effective, especially at the early level. Alright, next we have the Hairpin. Unfortunately, this gun is not that great because of the reload. Because every time you shoot this gun, you're gonna have to like cock the weapon, so you have to so you can shoot again. It's really slow, and the damage is just not there for players, and it's horrendous against bots. You won't be able to kill any drone with this. So I'm gonna put it in the D tier list. Alright, now let's talk about the green weapons. We're gonna be starting with Anvil. This is a great weapon overall. You can bring it as a sidearm, or you can use it as a primary weapon. It doesn't really matter. You can take down players effectively with a few well-placed shots. You can 3-shot those pesky drones, which will take longer if you're using a normal rifle or SMG. The only cons I would say for the Anvil is the range, but you can always bring a primary weapon to compensate this. Like the Rattler, for example, it's gonna go really well with the Anvil. Alright, our next weapon is the Burletta. This one is a pretty decent weapon, I would say. It has a good fire rate, a good accuracy. However, I might have to put it in the D tier list right now, as this weapon lacks armor penetration, and taking out those drones will be hard. It's good against players at close range, but if they're at medium to long range, you might need another primary weapon to go along with this weapon, such as maybe the Arpeggio, the Rattler, or even a Ferro. Alright, speaking about Arpeggio, we're gonna put this weapon in the A list category. This is because this weapon is really great. It has high accuracy with that burst fire rate using medium ammo. If you're holding a choke using this weapon, you're gonna be able to hold it really well because of its accuracy, and if you have that third-person angle. The only downside of this weapon is the fire rate, I would say. If you're real close in a close quarter combat, you might need a secondary weapon like the Bobcat or the Stitcher just to help you out with the fire rate here. Alright, next let's talk about the shotgun Torro. It used to be really strong in Tech Test 2. Back then it was in like A tier list, but it was nerfed significantly. Right now, I would put it in the C tier list as for now, unless Embark is gonna buff this weapon again. The fire rate is really slow, and that damage has been nerfed as well. So if you're in a close quarter situation against an Torro, you will have a chance to win even though you don't have a shotgun right now. Back then in Tech Test 2, you won't have any single chance at all if you're fighting someone with an Torro. Alright, next let's talk about the blue weapons. We're gonna be starting with the Venator. This is a really great weapon overall. It has that great damage, great accuracy with that medium ammo, great again drones, great again other players. The only thing it struggle is long range. It's gonna be comparable to an Anvil. You can use this as a sidearm with the Rattler or another long range rifle, and it will work out really great. Alright, next we have the Torrent. This is the LMG in Arc Raiders. It's really great to control choke, to suppress fire. You can take down drones easily with this. And also other players will be scared of you if you have this weapon because of fire rate and the amount of ammo it has. So I'm gonna put it in the S tier list. Alright, next we have the Renegade. This weapon is really great, but the amount of ammo that it has, I might have to put it in the A tier list. The damage is great, but the fire rate is really slow. You might have to place a few well-timed shots in order to take other players. For taking out drones, it's pretty decent. For a blue weapon, it's not that great, but it's gonna be better than most weapons that we have in the game right now. Alright, next let's talk about the Osprey. This is a really good weapon as it has scope on it, and you can really take down enemies at long range. So I want to put this in the S tier category. You can actually put attachments that will increase the ADS speed and also the recoil for this weapon. And you can easily take down enemies that are far away, more than 100 meters, 200 meters away. You can still place that accurate shot. And in PvP, this weapon is a must in long range engagement. Let's say you spot somebody at the very far edges of the map and your team want to engage those players, you might have to start with the Osprey so that your team can actually position to flank or whatever, but you with the Osprey can actually put pressure and start damaging the enemies. Alright, next let's talk about the purple or epic weapons. I'm gonna be starting off with the Bobcat. This is a really great SMG. It's gonna tear down true players, and you can take down drones as well at close range. However, it's going to be struggling with drones. Obviously, you'll need another better weapon to take out those drones. For example, the Anvil. And you can use this weapon for that close encounter to take out players. You have to flank them. And if you're able to catch enemies on guard, this weapon is going to be really devastating. Alright, next we have a semi-auto shotgun, which is the Vulcano. It's a really great weapon in close quarters. However, it's going to be struggling at medium to long range because the range is really short. However, if you're able to get really close to an enemy, you can tear them down really fast with the fire rate that it has. Definitely a great weapon. You'll need a secondary like the Osprey or a sniper rifle or even a Rattler on that secondary slot. Alright, next we have a full auto rifle called the Tempest. We're going to be putting this in the S tier. It has great damage, good fire rate, as well as better handling than the Rattler. But it's a heavy weapon compared to the Rattler, so the handling might be off a little bit. But it's still a great weapon overall. So if you pair this weapon up with a Bobcat, for example, it's going to be really strong as you're dominating that close quarters. Or even an Osprey for that long range encounter. As you get closer to them, you can just tear them apart with Tempest. Alright, now let's talk about the legendary weapons in Arc Raiders. We have Jupiter, which is the long range sniper. However, you may struggle to shoot people at close with the firing rate and reload speed of this thing. So it's a great long range weapon, but you'll need a secondary to back this weapon up. For example, the Bobcat or even an Anvil, just to ensure that you survive against other players. Against drones, this weapon is superb, no doubt about it. Plus, it's gonna be a really rare weapon to craft. So we're gonna be expecting to see this weapon on like high-end players. Alright, now let's talk about the Equalizer. This one uses energy ammo, so it's really different compared to all other weapons that we have in the list. So it's still experimental, I would say. I'm gonna have to put it in the A list right now, or even in the B list due to the ammo scarcity. you're gonna be having a hard time to get ammo on this thing. And also the damage is gonna be inconsistent. So until we get more info, like how players gonna interact with this weapon in the future, we're gonna change this in a different tier. So this is my tier list of all weapons in Arc Raiders. Feel free to give your later on, and feedback down in the comment section below. It's gonna be really valuable for the community. Don't forget to hit that like and also subscribe. You can also check out all Arc Raiders mission guide. Link is down below. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.